when Liberal MP Iqra Khalid tabled M103, a parliamentary motion that calls on the federal government to study and recommend solutions for discrimination, systematic racism, and Islamophobia in Canada, the Conservatives were quick to cook up a slew of implausible arguments against the motion. The Tories deemed it vague, the first step toward implementing wretched Sharia blasphemy laws, an infringement on free speech, and a motion that unfairly favors Muslims and Islam. Conservative leadership candidates have also spoken out against this motion, including the tell-it-as-it-is celebrity business mogul Kevin O'Leary, who bravely called M103 a slap in the face to other religions. But Kelly Leach won this round by going all out in her protest and launching an online petition with an image of a little blue-eyed girl, photoshopped from their original brown, whilst standing in front of a picture of the 2014 Parliament Hill shooting. This is because infusing fear among voters is how Trump won America, so it might just work for Leach. We saw your recent awkward and weird video on immigration, Leach. Keep it up. Please. You're doing great. Through their coldly calculated yet ignorant hysteria, the Tories have missed the point entirely. To begin, let us break down M103. All that M103 asks the federal government to do is to recognize the need to end the increasing public climate of hate and fear, condemn Islamophobia and all forms of racism and discrimination, request the Standing Committee on Canadian Heritage to study how the government can develop strategies to reduce and eliminate intolerance, including Islamophobia, and to collect data in order to provide context for hate crime reports. An important point to recognize is that M103 is a motion, not a bill. This means that if this motion passes, there will be no changes to the Canadian legal code, nor will there be new legal limitations on the freedom of expression or speech. And so, the Conservatives' fear is not only unwarranted, but also irrational. M103 is an opportunity for members of Parliament to use their platform to take a strong stance against hate and intolerance. It must be made explicit that Islamophobia has no place in Canadian society whatsoever. A wave of anti-Muslim sentiment has swept throughout Europe and the US and has inevitably made its way into Canada. The Quebec City shooting that left 6 Canadian Muslims dead, the anti-Muslim rally in front of a Toronto mosque, and the recent bomb threat at Concordia University against Muslim students did not magically appear out of thin air. Islamophobic rhetoric is rising at an alarming rate. And as recent events have shown, such as Brexit and the American election, populist right-wing outbursts precede spikes in police-reported hate crimes. Growing irrational fear and hatred against Muslims doesn't seem to be going away anytime soon. A case in point is the numerous threats and racial slurs that MP Iqra Khalid received after tabling M103.
I believe that you are a terrorist. I believe that you are here to kill me and kill my children and kill the entire future of this entire nation. And I'll be there writing the story with a big fat smile on my face, thinking, hey, Iqra Khalid gets shot by a Canadian patriot.
Arguing that no religion should be singled out for special consideration aligns the Conservatives with the counterproductive All Lives Matter movement. It prevents us from recognizing that these problems exist, that these problems are urgent, and that these problems need to be addressed as soon as possible before another fatal tragedy falls into our hands. Now, it is clear that Tory ethics need to be strained out. They must recognize that tapping into Canadians' worst fears is a silly and dangerous game to play, which may win them a few extra seats in Parliament, but it is a costly trade-off. It is up to Conservatives to figure out their priorities. And whether human dignity will beat out cheap rhetoric is something that remains to be seen.